The old X3 was BMW's runt. Awkward styling, a hard ride and a brittle interior. It was even made in a different factory to all their other cars.
Happily, BMW have humanely put down the old X3 and born out a new one. It still looks a little bit like it slept on a creased pillow, but in every other respect, it promises to be a million times better than the old one.
Now made alongside the X5 and X6 in America, it's bigger, greener and faster than before, and costing from £31,000, also about £100 cheaper, and it's also better to drive.
Instead of crashing around like it's got granite tyres like the old car did, this one feels incredibly plump, well cushioned, very refined, nice and comfortable, and that hasn't come at the expense of body control. It still feels very taut and very agile. To be honest, this car probably feels slightly better than the standard one because it's got the optional £920 variable damper control, which means you can select how firm you want your suspensions. This one actually works quite well. Instead of just ruining the ride without improving the handling, pressing sport mode really does make it feel a little bit tighter and a little bit pointier without making it rock hard.
All models come with four-wheel drive as standard, which does allow you to cross shallow rivers. The most popular engine is going to be this car's 2-litre turbo diesel, one of the best diesel engines around.
How about this for ticking all of the boxes? This car has 184 horsepower, does 0 to 62 in 8.5 seconds, 50 miles per gallon and only emits 149 grams per kilometre of CO2. That makes it more powerful, faster, more frugal, less polluting and cheaper to tax than its main rival, the Audi Q5. Have that.
It's no more expensive than a Q5 either, and in a rare moment of generosity, BMW offer leather seats, cruise control, sat-nav, parking sensors and dual-zone climate control as standard.
The interior itself is a massive improvement over the old car too, although it still doesn't quite have the ambience or the class of an Audi Q5's.
Rear seats and boot space are top of the class, but there are a couple of other things that stop the X3 from being perfect. The optional variable sport steering, a system that reduces the amount of lock needed for tight turns, takes some getting used to.
Around open bends, the steering is nice and relaxed and not too twitchy, but when you start putting more lock into it, it gets pointier, which can take you by surprise. Second little quibble is that the pedals are offset to the right more than you'd hope, so much so that if you draw a line down the middle of the steering wheel, it's the clutch that's in the centre rather than the brake pedal.
But that's about it. Picking holes in the X3 is very hard.
Well, what an enormous turnaround. The X3 is no longer the runt of BMW's litter. Mainly thanks to having an outstanding engine and being incredibly comfortable, it's actually now the best car in its class.